Welcome to Learn English Speaking. Let's talk stories. Here we bring you amazing stories to improve your English fluency. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting lessons. Let's learn together.
Chapter 1. The Ingalls family goes west. A long time ago, Pa and Ma and Mary and Laura and baby Carrie left their little house in Wisconsin. They drove away and left it lonely and empty among the big trees, and they never saw that little house again. They were going to Indian country. Pa said there were too many people in Wisconsin now. Wild animals did not stay in a country where there were so many people, so Pa didn't want to stay. He liked a country where the animals lived without fear. He liked to see them looking at him in the forest and eating fruit from the trees. In the long winter evenings, Pa talked to Ma about the western country.
"Let's go see the West,"
he said.
"The land is flat and the grass grows thick and high. Animals run freely and there are no settlers. Only Indians live there."
"Oh, Charles, must we go now?"
Ma said.
"The weather's so cold and our warm house is so comfortable."
"If we are going this year, we must go now,"
said Pa.
"We can't cross the Mississippi River after the ice breaks."
So Pa sold the little house in Wisconsin. With Ma's help, he made a canvas cover for their wagon. They put everything into the wagon, except their beds and tables and chairs. Pa could make new ones out west. The next morning, when it was still dark, Ma gently shook Mary and Laura until they got up. By the light of the fire, she helped them dress warmly. They put on warm dresses and heavy coats. Grandmother, grandfather, aunts, and uncles were all there to say goodbye to them. Pa put his gun inside the wagon where he could reach it quickly. He put his fiddle between two blankets in order to keep it safe. Their dog Jack went under the wagon, and they drove away.
"When we get to the West,"
Pa said to Laura,
"you'll see a papoose."
"What's a papoose?"
she asked.
"A papoose is a little brown Indian baby,"
Pa explained. It was a long, long way to Indian country. Almost every day, the horses traveled as far as they could. Almost every night, Pa and Ma stopped in a new place. They rode across the wide Mississippi River before the ice broke, and crossed many other rivers and creeks. One day, Pa sold the tired brown horses and got two small young black horses with soft, gentle eyes and long tails.
"They're Western horses.
Pa said.
Very strong, but very gentle."
When Laura asked what their names were, Pa said that she and Mary could choose names for the horses. So they called one Pet and the other Patty. They had traveled across Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri. All that long way, their little dog Jack had walked along under the wagon. Pa sat up front, holding the reins. Ma sat next to him, straight and quiet. Baby Carrie slept in soft blankets in the back. Now they were crossing Kansas, an endless flat land covered with tall grass. Day after day they saw nothing but grass and a big sky. There was nothing new to do, and nothing new to look at.
Ma, can't we get out and run behind the wagon?
Laura said.
My legs are so tired.
No, Laura.
Ma said.
I'm hungry. I want to camp now.
Then Ma said,
Laura.
That was all she said, but Laura understood that she should stay quiet.
We're coming to a creek or river,
Pa said.
Girls, can you see those trees? That's where we'll camp tonight.
Suddenly, the road went down, and they arrived at the creek. Pet and Patty stopped to drink. The sound of fast running water filled the still air. The river was silver and blue, and the water ran quickly in the middle.
The creek's really high,
Pa said.
but I guess we can cross it.
Pa looked at Ma.
What do you say, Caroline?
Yes, Charles.
Ma answered.
I think we can.
So the wagon went forward. Soon the wheels were in deep water.
The horses may have to swim out there in the middle,
Pa said.
but we'll get across all right, Caroline.
Laura thought of Jack and said,
I wish Jack could ride in the wagon, Pa.
Pa did not answer. He was busy with the horses, pulling the reins. Ma said,
Jack can swim, Laura. He'll be fine.
Then suddenly the wagon lifted and rocked. And Laura knew they were in the creek. Mary hid under the blankets. She was afraid of the water. But Laura was excited. Ma said loudly,
Lie down, girl. Don't move.
Mary and Laura dropped flat on the bed. When Ma spoke like that, they obeyed her. Ma's arm pulled a blanket over them, heads and all. Laura felt the wagon turning. The water made so much noise. Then Pa's voice frightened Laura.
Take the horses, Caroline.
He said. Suddenly, Pa was gone. Ma sat alone, holding the reins with both hands. Mary hid her face in the blankets again, but Laura sat up and looked out. She couldn't see anything but water everywhere, and 3 heads in the water. Pet's head, Patty's head, and Pa's small wet head. Pa's hand was holding Pet's head, and he was talking calmly to the horses. Ma's face was white and frightened. Mary was crying, and Laura felt cold and sick. She closed her eyes, but she could still see the terrible water with Pa in it. For a long time, the wagon rocked in the water. Finally, the front wheels hit the ground, and Pa shouted. Laura saw the wet horses climbing out of the water. Pa was running beside them, shouting,
Get up! Get up! Good girls!
And then the horses and the wagon stood still, safely out of that creek. Pa was wet and tired.
Oh, Charles.
Ma cried,
Calm down, Caroline.
said Pa.
We're all safe. All's well that ends well.
But Laura was still frightened. She knew they were lucky to be alive. Suddenly, she shouted.
Oh, where's Jack?
They had forgotten Jack and could not see him anywhere. Pa walked up and down the creek, looking everywhere for him. But Jack was gone. There was nothing to do but go on. Laura tried not to cry. She looked back all the way, but she saw nothing except hills and trees. Soon Pa stopped the horses. He was ready to camp. Mary and Laura climbed to the ground too. Pa seemed sad. He did not sing while he worked as he usually did.
I don't know what we'll do in a wild country without a good dog,
he said. Pa made a fire and brought water from the creek. Mary and Laura helped Ma make a supper of salted pork, cornbread, and coffee. As they ate, purple shadows closed around the campfire. The wide prairie was dark and still. Then Laura heard a long, frightening cry from the dark prairie.
Wolves.
Pa said.
I wish Jack was still with us.
Laura felt like crying, but she knew she must be strong. Suddenly, she jumped up. She had seen something. 2 green lights were shining deep in the dark. They were eyes.
Look, Pa, look!
Laura said.
A wolf!
Pa moved quickly. He took his gun from the wagon and was ready to shoot at those green eyes. Pa threw some wood at the animal. The green eyes went close to the ground. Pa held the gun ready. The animal did not move.
Don't shoot, Charles,
Ma said. But Pa walked slowly toward those eyes. And slowly along the ground, the eyes moved toward him. And then Laura saw a little brown animal. She screamed, and Pa shouted. The next thing she knew, a happy, dumping Jack was on top of her. Her face and hands were wet from his warm, wet tongue. He jumped from Pa to Ma and back to her again. Then he lay down close to Laura and slept. When Laura went to bed that night, she looked at the large, shining stars in the sky. Pa could reach them, she thought. Suddenly, she was very surprised. The largest star smiled at her. Then she was waking up the next morning. Chapter 2. Pa Builds the Little House. It was still dark, and Pa was packing everything into the wagon. Mary and Laura ate their breakfast in a hurry. When the sun came up, they were driving across the prairie again. There was no road now, so Pet and Patty walked through the tall grass. Before noon, Pa stopped the wagon.
Here we are, Caroline,
he said.
We'll build our house right here.
Laura and Mary jumped out. There was nothing around them but grass that reached to the edge of the sky. Nearby was a creek. It lay below the prairie. but they could see the dark green treetops. Far away, another line of different greens lay across the prairie.
That's the Verdigris River.
Pa said to Ma. Then Pa and Ma took everything out of the wagon and put it on the ground. They took the canvas off the wagon and covered all their things. Then Pa took his axe and drove away.
Where's Pa going?
Laura asked.
To get logs from the creek for our house.
Ma said. It was strange and frightening to be without the wagon on the high prairie. The land and the sky seemed too large, and Laura felt small. She wanted to hide in the tall grass, like a prairie chicken. But she didn't. First, she helped Ma make the beds under the canvas cover. Then, she went for a walk. She found a mysterious little path in the grass, and she followed it slowly. But suddenly she felt afraid and hurried back to Ma. When Pa returned with the logs, Laura told him about the path.
I saw it earlier.
He said.
It's an old trail, I guess.
When will I see a papoose?
She asked.
I don't know, Laura.
Pa replied.
You only see Indians when they want you to see them.
Day after day, Pa drove to the creek. When he had enough logs, he measured the shape of the house on the ground by walking from side to side and front to back. He dug shallow trenches along 2 sides and rolled 2 big logs into them. Then he put 2 strong logs across the first 2 to make a square. With his axe, he made a deep, wide cut near the end of each log. The 4 logs fit together at these cuts. These 4 strong logs could hold up the new house. All by himself, Pa built the house 3 logs high. Then Ma helped him. Log by log, they built the walls higher while Laura played in the tall grass. One day she heard Pa shout,
Caroline, be careful. Get out of the way.
A big log was falling towards Ma. Pa couldn't stop it. It crashed down, and Ma fell to the ground. Laura and Pa ran to Ma. The log was on her foot. Pa lifted it, and Ma pulled out her foot. Pa felt her leg. Nothing was broken.
Can you move your arms?
He asked.
Can you turn your head?
Ma moved her arms and turned her head.
I'm all right,
She whispered.
Ah, thank God.
Pa said.
Nothing's broken. It's only a bad sprain.
Ma's face was gray, but she said bravely,
Well, a sprain will soon get better. Don't worry, Charles.
But Ma's foot didn't get better for some time,
The house must wait.
said Pa. Then one afternoon, Pa came up the creek road singing.
Good news!
He shouted.
We have a neighbor only 3 kilometers away on the other side of the creek. I met him while I was hunting. He's going to help me finish our house, and then I'll go over and help him with his house."
Early the next morning, Mr. Edwards arrived. He was tall and wore old clothes, but he was very polite to Ma. And he was a fast worker. In one day, he and Pa finished the walls. They laughed and sang while they worked, and their axes made the wood fly. They cut holes for a door and 2 windows, and soon the house was finished, except for the roof and floor. Laura ran inside the new house. It smelled sweetly of cut wood and prairie grass. The sun shone through the window holes and fell across Laura's hands and her arms and her feet. The walls were thick, and the house felt large and strong. Ma had cooked a good supper, and she and Pa invited Mr. Edwards to stay. There was rabbit and hot cornbread with pork, and even coffee with real sugar. Then Pa took out his fiddle. Mr. Edwards lay on the grounds near the fire to listen as Pa played Laura and Mary's favorite song, "I am a gypsy king." Pa's voice was deeper than an old frog's. Laura could not stop laughing. Then Mr. Edwards jumped up and began to dance wildly in the moonlight. Pa played song after song while Mr. Edwards danced. Laura's and Mary's hands were clapping, and their feet were moving with the music, too. And baby Carrie, who had woken up, was sitting in Ma's arms, clapping her little hands and laughing. When it was time for Mr. Edwards to go, he took his gun and said good night. Pa played one last song as Mr. Edwards walked away into the darkness, singing happily. When the song ended, the prairie was silent. Only the wind whispered in the tall grass.
"The walls are up,"
Pa said to Ma the next morning.
"Let's move in. I heard wolves everywhere around us last night. We should have strong, thick walls around us. I'll make the floor and roof later because I must build a stable for Pet and Patty as fast as I can. They should be safe inside walls, too."
Why haven't we seen any Indians?
Ma asked.
"I don't know.
Pa replied.
I've seen the places where they camp. They're away hunting for food now, I guess."
After breakfast, Pa got on top of the walls to put the canvas wagon cover over the house. The canvas blew wildly in the wind, and so did Pa's hair. Once, he almost flew away into the air like a big bird. But he finally tied the canvas down. By dinner time, the house was ready. The beds were made on the floor. Short logs had become chairs. Pa's gun was up in its place over the door. It was a pleasant house.
"Before winter comes, I'll make a wood floor and a solid roof,"
Pa said.
"but that must wait until I finish helping Mr. Edwards and building a stable. We're going to do well here, Caroline. We'll be happy here for the rest of our lives.
Laura liked this place too. She liked the great big sky, the winds, and the wide land. Everything was so clean and big and wonderful. Inside the thick walls of their new home, they felt warm and safe. Pa put up a quilt over the door hole. As she fell asleep that night, Laura heard a wolf's cry from somewhere far away on the prairie. She did not feel so frightened. Chapter 3. Wolves Frighten the Family. Pa and Mr. Edwards built the stable for Pet and Patty in one day. By the time they put the roof on, it was dark.
Now,
said Pa.
let those wolves howl. I'll sleep tonight.
In the morning, when Laura went into the stable, she found a surprise waiting for her. A little colt with long ears stood beside Pet. When Laura ran toward it, gentle Pet put back her ears and showed her teeth.
Stay back, Laura.
Pa shouted.
She could bite you.
Then he said to Pet,
You know we won't hurt your baby, Pet.
Pet let Pa touch the baby, but she didn't let Laura or Mary go near her. Early that afternoon, Pa rode Patty across the prairie to see what he could see. There was plenty of meat in the house, so he did not take his gun. By late afternoon, he still had not come home. Ma and Laura began to get supper ready outside by the fire. Mary was in the house, taking care of the baby, and Laura asked Ma,
What's the matter with Jack?
Jack was walking up and down and around the house, looking worried. His hair stood up on his neck. Then Pet started running around in circles. Ma looked around at the wide prairie and the sky, but didn't see anything unusual.
It's probably nothing at all, Laura,
Ma said. She made the coffee. The prairie chicken that was cooking on the fire began to smell good. But all the time, Ma went on looking around. Suddenly, Patty came running fast across the prairie. Pa was almost flat, holding on to her neck. Patty ran past the stable before Pa could stop her. She was trembling, and her black coat was hot and wet. Pa was hot and tired, too.
What's the matter, Charles?
Ma asked him. Pa's eyes were looking toward the creek, so Ma and Laura looked at it too. But they only saw grass and trees.
What is it?
Ma asked again.
Why were you riding Patty so fast?
I was afraid the wolves had come here.
Wolves?
Ma cried.
What wolves?
Everything's fine now, Caroline,
said Pa.
Let me rest a minute.
Then he said,
We saw 50 of them, Caroline. They were the biggest wolves I've ever seen. It was terrible.
Supper was ready. Mary and Laura stayed close to the fire and kept baby Carrie with them. They could feel the darkness everywhere, and they didn't stop looking around. Shadows moved on the prairie. Jack did not growl, but his ears were lifted, listening to the darkness. The girls ate their chicken as they listened to Pa telling Ma about the wolves. He had found some more neighbors. Settlers were coming in and building houses along both sides of the creek. Not far away, a man and his wife were building a house. Their name was Scott, and Pa said they were nice people. As he was riding home across the prairie, a pack of wolves came out of nowhere. They were all around Pa in a moment.
It was a big pack.
Pa said.
There were 50 wolves, and the biggest wolves I ever saw in my life. Their leader was a meter tall. I tell you, my hair stood straight up.
And you didn't have your gun,
said Ma.
I know, but to be honest, I didn't miss it. You can't fight 50 wolves with one gun.
What did you do?
Ma asked.
Nothing,
said Pa.
Patty tried to run, but I pulled the reins hard and made her walk. Wolves will chase and hurt a running horse.
How awful, Charles,
Ma said quietly.
Yes, it was,
said Pa.
Those wolves just walked along with us, like a pack of dogs going along with a horse. They were all around us, jumping and playing with each other, just like dogs. We were lucky they weren't hungry.
Laura's mouth and eyes were wide open. Her heart was beating fast.
Patty was trembling all over,
Pa said.
She was so scared. I was too, but I made her walk. When we got near the creek, the leader turned down toward the creek, and the rest of the pack followed him. That's when I let Patty go. I was scared the whole way home. I thought the wolves might come this way. I knew you could keep the wolves out of the house with the gun, but Pet and her colt were outside.
I guess I could save our horses, Charles,
Ma said.
I know,
said Pa.
I wasn't thinking straight, but the wolves are far from here by now, and all's well that ends well.
Jack was walking around the campfire. When he stopped to smell the air, the hair lifted on his neck.
It's time for bed, girls,
Ma said. She took them all into the house. But it took Laura a long time to fall asleep. Suddenly, she was sitting straight up in bed. She had been asleep. Light from the moon was coming through the window and the cracks in the wall. Pa was standing there with his gun. Suddenly, a wolf howled right in Laura's ear. She pulled away from the wall. The wolf was just on the other side of it. Laura was too scared to speak. Then many wolves started howling all around the house, and Laura got out of bed. Pa turned his head and saw her standing there.
Do you want to see them, Laura?
He asked softly. Without saying anything, Laura walked over to Pa. He put down his gun and lifted her up to the window. There in the light of the moon sat a half-circle of wolves. They looked at Laura, and she looked at them. The biggest one was taller than Laura. His coat was gray, and his eyes were shining and green. Laura looked and looked at that wolf.
He's awfully big.
Laura said into Pa's ear.
Yes, and see how his coat shines.
Pa said into her hair.
They're in a circle around the house.
Laura went with him to the other window. There she saw the other half of the circle of wolves. The big wolf lifted his nose to the sky and howled. All the other wolves answered him. The noise filled the wide prairie.
Now go back to bed, Laura.
Pa said.
Go to sleep. Jack and I will take care of you all.
So Laura went back to bed. She heard the wolves howling and trying to smell them through the cracks in the walls of the house. It was a long time before she fell asleep.